Deep in the dark waters of the Baltic Sea lies the wreckage of a great ship, its final resting place, shrouded in mystery and tragedy. The Wilhelm Gustloff, once a symbol of Nazi propaganda and luxury, met a tragic fate at the hands of a Soviet submarine on January 30, 1945, taking with it an estimated 9,000 souls in the deadliest maritime disaster in history. But what led to this fateful night? And what secrets does the Gustloff sinking still hold? Join us as we uncover the untold story of the motor vessel Wilhelm Gustloff. The Wilhelm Gustloff, also known as the motor vessel Wilhelm Gustloff, was a German ocean liner that was sunk by a Soviet submarine on January 30, 1945. The sinking resulted in an estimated 9,000 passengers losing their lives, making it the deadliest maritime disaster in history. Originally built for the German Labor Front's Kraft der Truhe Strength Through Joy program, which subsidized leisure activities for German workers, the MV Gustloff measured 684 feet, 208.5 meters in length, and weighed over 25,000 tons. The ship was named after the leader of the Swiss Nazi Party, who had been assassinated on February 4, 1936, and it was launched in the presence of Adolf Hitler on May 5, 1937. The Gustloff embarked on its maiden voyage on March 24, 1938, and over the course of 17 months, it went on around 50 cruises, carrying approximately 65,000 vacationers. The ship had enough space to accommodate roughly 1,900 people, including around 400 crew members. All of the cabins aboard the Gustloff were sized and apportioned similarly for propaganda purposes, making the Gustloff appear to be a ship without social classes. The only exception was a larger cabin reserved for Hitler. However, it was not possible to book a voyage on the Gustloff, as the people who were allowed to travel on the Kraft der Truhe flagship were chosen by the party. In addition to its use as a cruise ship, the Gustloff was also utilized for public-oriented missions. When World War II began, the Gustloff was requisitioned by the German Navy to serve as a hospital ship in the Baltic Sea in Norway. From November 1940 onward, the ship was anchored at Gdynia, Poland, and used as barracks for the 2nd Submarine Training Division. The ship sustained minor damage during a U.S. air attack on the harbor on October 9, 1943. As the Red Army advanced towards East Prussia, Admiral Karl Dönitz made preparations for Operation Hannibal, a large-scale evacuation of German troops and civilians from the area. From January 21, 1945, an estimated 2 million Germans were evacuated to the west, surpassing the number of people rescued during the British evacuation at Dunkirk. Among the vessels involved in the operation was the Gustloff, which was tasked with transporting the soldiers of the 2nd Submarine Training Division to Western Germany. On January 25, the Gustloff began taking on refugees, and by the afternoon of January 29, the count had reached 7,956 before registration was stopped. Witnesses estimated that perhaps another 2,000 people boarded after that point. On January 30, shortly after noon, the Gustloff departed from the harbor. Originally planned to be part of a larger convoy, the Gustloff was accompanied by only the torpedo boat Lowe due to mechanical problems that forced 2 ships to turn back. Captain Friedrich Petersen was concerned about the Gustloff's engines failing after years of inactivity, so he decided that the ship would not travel faster than 12 knots, 14 miles, or 22 kilometers per hour. He disregarded the advice of Wilhelm Gustloff, commander of the 2nd Submarine Training Division, who recommended increasing the speed to 15 knots, 17 miles or 28 kilometers per hour, to reduce the likelihood of an attack by Soviet submarines. Petersen also rejected the recommendation of First Officer Louis Rees, who suggested hugging the coastline and instead chose a deepwater route that was known to be clear of mines. Around 6 p.m., the captain received a warning about an approaching convoy of minesweepers, prompting him to turn on the ship's navigation lights to avoid a collision. The origin of the message is unknown, as none of the radio operators on the Gustloff or the Lowe claimed to have received it. It is unclear whether it was a misunderstanding or possibly an act of sabotage. The Gustloff did not encounter any minesweepers on its journey, but it was spotted by the Soviet submarine S-13 at around 7 p.m. The Soviet commander, Captain Alexander Marinesko, maneuvered his submarine between the Gustloff and the coast, as an attack from that direction would be least expected. At 9:16 p.m., the Gustloff was struck by 3 torpedoes and sank over the course of an hour. The ship carried lifeboats and rafts for 5,000 people, but many were frozen to the deck, and their use was further hindered by the fact that one of the torpedoes hit the crew quarters, killing those best trained to handle the situation. Throughout the night, 9 vessels rescued survivors. Out of the estimated 10,000 people on board, only 1,239 were registered as survivors, making it the deadliest maritime disaster in history. Despite the high number of civilian deaths, claims that the sinking of the Gustloff was a war crime are largely unsubstantiated due to the presence of weapons and nearly 1,000 military personnel on board. That concludes today's video. If we satisfied your curiosity, we invite you to subscribe to our channel, give the video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. Don't forget to leave a comment below, and keep watching for more exciting videos to come.